It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Let me move this blanket out the way. But I am here in warm Connecticut, man. I went on vacation last week to Miami, and it was warmer here today than it was in Miami. Obviously, the humidity's not there, so I was trying to get here for 7, but I went rollerblading today out on the street where I live because it was just so beautiful after work. But I am here to talk today about Dave Matthews Band. The new album, Come Tomorrow, the official track list has been released. We're going to have a single that'll also be coming out very, very soon. But I just wanted to dissect and discuss the track listing. So we're going to go track by track here first, and then I'll give some general thoughts and themes as far as what I think of this full track listing. So first we have Samurai Cop, and in parentheses, Oh Joy Begin. It's been played live. It's a recent song within the last couple years. It's been being played. So it is a newer song, but it has been played, has been heard. Then we have Can't Stop. This is one of the older unreleased songs by DMB. So this is kind of an older joint here. And then we have Here On Out. This song, I actually technically heard the debut-ish of it. My first concert, May 25th, 2012. Some of the lyrics and the jam was played at that show, my first show ever in Hartford, Connecticut for DMB. So it's a song that just started to get played with Dave and Tim last fallish as far as being what it will sound like here on the album. So it's a newer song. We have this, or That Girl Is You. That is track 4. I don't think I've heard it. Maybe there'll be elements of a song or a jam that we've never heard, but never heard of it. And then we have She, again, same thing. Never heard that song by DMB, although I think Blink-182 has a song called She, or is it Green Day, one of them. And then we have Idea of You. This is a classic unreleased song from the band that is an oldie but goodie. Track 7, Virginia in the Rain. Actually heard the tour debut of this song again in Hartford, Connecticut, where we get a lot of dope songs and sets. And I was in the pit. That was my first pit show. That was 2015. And Virginia in the Rain was revealed, and Branford Marsalis was playing sax for that tour debut and the first time it was ever played live. We have Again and Again. Again, this appears to be a new song that I haven't heard. Track 9 there's already jokes popping up here on the internet, in the forums, in the Facebook pages. BKD, KD, KD, KDD. So BKD, KD, BKD, KD, KDD, I think, whatever. It's a song, it's a bunch of letters. And some people are hinting at maybe Be Yourself, which was a god-awful song, where there was a bunch of mumbling, kind of sounds like that, but we'll see what that is. Black and Bluebird. This is a song that has been played for a couple tours here as well, and it went away, I believe that was in 2016-ish. It went away, but now it's gonna be back because it's on the new album. We then have Come On, Come On. Haven't heard it before to my knowledge. And then we have Do You Remember? And that song is actually, you know what, I just messed up. I believe Do You Remember is the song that actually is the one that was played my first concert, May 25th, 2012. I think it was Do You Remember? I can't remember, but it was one of those songs, Do You Remember or Here On Out. I think it was Do You Remember. Yeah, it was Do You Remember. That was played May 25th, 2012 in my first ever DMB show. Then we have Come Tomorrow. I don't think I've heard that. It's probably the title track of the album. And then number 14, When I'm Weary, which again, haven't heard it. So what do I think of the album? As I've preached here in the forums and in some of my videos, I'm glad that it's a mix of old and new. people that are on the forums, I know everyone has a different opinion. People on the forums that want this band to write an entirely new album of pretty much newish songs like A Black and Bluebird and Virginia in the Rain, but also have no unreleased older songs from the mid 2000s. That's absurd because, again, songwriting is hard. You look at Billy Joel, who hasn't written music since I believe 93, who, even when he was writing his last couple albums, there were some duds in there. You have Roger Waters, who I've seen live last year, and his new music is not that good. You even have Elton John and Bernie Taupin, and Bernie is the ghostwriter for Elton John, or he's not the ghostwriter, he's the real writer. And again, they're the Wonderful Crazy Night, not close to the classics. It is what it is, but it's not close to the classics. It is hard to write songs, and even for people that have songwriters, collaborators, it is hard to make music when you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, or when you're this many albums in like DMB is. So I am happy that it's a mix of the new songs that I think are good. I like Black and Bluebird. Some people don't like the cliche lyrics, but I love the rhythm of the song. I love playing it on my acoustic guitar. I like Virginia in the Rain. It's not like, oh, I love this song forever, but it's a different sound. I'd rather hear it than Mercy or If Only or Seven for the bajillionth time. I'd rather hear Virginia in the Rain, even though it's been played a little bit. Samurai Cop, I know people hate that song in some instances. Some people love it. People that have kids like this song, and someone like me, I have friends that are just having kids, and I've been someone who volunteers in my church. I've known kids that I've mentored since they were born. It's a sentimental song. If you don't have kids or have nieces or nephews, you probably won't like it, but I like Samurai Cop. And again, I'd rather hear Samurai Cop than again like even Belly Belly Nice is getting played out for me, and it was a song I really like. But these songs from Big Whiskey and Away from the World, they gotta go. Everything must go unless you're gonna play Broken Things, or you're going to maybe every now and then play another song from those albums. Or I don't even mind Time Bomb coming back. I know people get sick of it, but we need to get these new songs in and new sounds and new jams in from the newish material. But I want to hear some of these old songs again, and I'm glad that some of these fillers are old songs, because if there weren't old songs, they'd probably be skippable tracks. They'd be lackluster songwrited tracks that wouldn't be good. So I'm glad that we have Can't Stop. Again, it's not the best of those unreleased songs, but I'd rather hear Can't Stop than some of the other newer music from Away from the World or Big Whiskey. And then also, Idea of You, it has gotten play, but I'd rather hear that than, again, some of the newer stuff. And there's also a couple songs that have been rumored to be recorded during these sessions from different sources, and that was Shotgun and Break Free, but those did not make the cut. They've been cute without the E. Break Free is only popular, I think, mostly because it's not played as much. I don't think it's as good of a song as people think it is, but hey, it would have been better. Again, it would have been cool to hear it again, but it's not as good, and it's kind of almost a little bit incomplete and has a lot of space. But Shotgun is a song that I love, and I would have loved to heard it on the album. People were worried again, what's gonna happen if Shotgun sounds terrible in the studio? Well, you know what? They play it great live. But I think the difficulty, and I think one of the reasons it was abandoned, was because it's hard to record. It is hard to record. But I would love a studio version of Shotgun, because a runner like me, shout out to all the DMB runners out there, when you have a studio track, it makes more of an impact in your ears. And I know too many things are turned up too much, but when you don't have the crowd noise, when the sounds are more focused in your ears, it's fun to run to jog to work out to. So I would love a studio Shotgun, but I think that maybe Dave just couldn't bring that energy. And I think that's one of the reasons it's not played that much anymore. It's a hard song to execute, to play and sing and have the energy just right. We had a Hershey Park performance that's probably one of the best ever, and that was probably the peak of Shotgun performance-wise. If they play it now, it's not going to sound as good. They played it in one of the empty joints out there in Kansas. I think that was Wichita, where it wasn't even sold out, and they tried it, and I think they just were like, we're not going to continue with it. So Come Tomorrow, again, I'm excited for this album because, again, I'd rather hear unreleased stuff and instead of all extra songs that will be bad songwriting if they do 14 or 12 tracks fully that are just new tracks. We've also been hearing that Come Tomorrow's title track, Come Tomorrow, will have Brandy Carlisle. Here, there's also gonna be a release of Samurai Cop. It'll make I believe, or no, is it Samurai Cop? I'll have to check that later. Yes, yeah. So the single will be released on May 10th. So that'll be interesting to hear that first excuse me, first single, how it sounds. And they confirm now with the official release those producers that I had talked about in a couple videos prior. We got John Algia, Mark Batson, Rob Cavallo, and Rob Evans. And many of these artists, many of these producers had previously worked with DMB there. And there were sessions in Charlottesville, Seattle, and LA, according to some of the reports that are coming out. So let me know what you guys think. The other thing that I wanted to talk about as well is what I like about these songs is they can be performed without Boyd. So if there is 3 or 4 songs per night from this new album, that's 3 or 4 songs that you won't need Boyd Tinsley for. And yeah, maybe he's in some of these recordings. I heard he was in the sessions, but at least we know, okay, yeah, Ants Marching may sound rough. Lying in Our Graves, the solo part may be different. But these new songs can be played without Boyd. We got allegedly a guy coming on keys who looks like Jamie Foxx. But I'm glad that these songs that have made the cut are going to be fine without Boyd. And again, people need to relax. We still don't know if they're going to have a fiddle player, but if there's no Boyd, if you like other bands, and that's the thing is people that are freaking out about DMB, they listen to other bands that don't have a violin player. Yes, it's going to be different. Yeah, you may need to cut back your shows for this summer tour. And please, I mean, by all means, you can probably sell, unless you're in like Mississippi or Alabama, and I don't know if there's an Arkansas show this year. But those shows, unless you're in one of those shows, you can sell your pavilion tickets. Someone will take them off your hands. I know people have hotels. That's why you buy hotel cancellation. That's why you buy flight insurance. If you're crazy enough to buy a flight right after the tickets go on sale and you bought it before the Boyd announcement, you better get that insurance. That's why you have insurance. Cancel that stuff. Cut a show or 2. Go to 1. Or check it out. See how the first couple shows go. Get the taper recordings. And then go from there. But I think the band is going to be all right. I am someone that I love struggle. I've seen Young the Giant. I know that's more of a mainstream indie band, but I've seen them without one of their guitarists. I've seen Humphreys McGee without their lead guitarist, who is more impactful than Boyd is for DMB. And that show, I don't think I could go a whole tour if I was chasing a couple shows with Humphreys without their lead guitarist, but I went one show and it was a unique experience. I've been listening to Bob Weir and Phil Lesh in some of those Bobby and Phil shows. And they played songs like Estimated Prophet, if you're a Deadhead. They played these songs without major parts, major backing, and it was just them two. And they sounded very odd, but they were really cool. You could hear Bob Weir's parts a lot better. And it made me appreciate those because he's very subtle. So I think that fans need to either do one of 2 things. If you're going to have a temper tantrum, sell your tickets, stop complaining, get off the DMB forums, and go, go actually hang out with your family. Go make a difference in your community until Boyd comes back, or if he doesn't come back, hey, find new bands to chase. Or be open to this idea that, hey, this band is not going to be predictable. It's not going to have Boyd pouting on stage and having the same songs and the same flow that we saw in 2016, which was a disappointment in some ways because of the songs they chose to keep consistently playing. We're going to have sounds that are different. We're going to have trial and error. Hopefully Tim turns down. But it's going to be a fun experience if you are a fan of music and you're a fan of diverse ways to listen to music. Yes, it's not Dave and Tim. It's going to be full band, so some other stuff will sound different without Boyd, but it's a new experience. It'll challenge this band. This band needs a challenge. It needs something to challenge it because it's been floating in a status quo. Still great shows. I still go to shows. I love them. I dance. You don't see me like a Genesis prog rock guy in the 80s going like, No, I'm dancing. I'm having a good time. Even with the 2016 shows, which I thought, especially like Mansfield, it was a little bit of a disappointment to set. But I still enjoyed it. I still danced. I still was happy. Talked to other fans. So just be open or just sell your tickets, get off the forums, stop complaining. Although it is a free country and I do complain on this, but I just think that you have to be open or you need to be closed and just back out of DMB land for a little bit. But it's your boy ConcertViz34. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe. And I see, Matt Keto says he thinks that BK whatever song is Bismarck and again is Bob Law. Hey, hopefully I love Bob Law and Bismarck too. Those songs were so great even in 2016. I had more of excitement for those songs in the way like with Bob Law, how it ends and how it just the flow of it. I loved Bob Law here when we got it in 2016. So I hope that is the case. But like I said, thank you guys for watching. And everyone who comes on, I know it's only 3 people, and it's the same people that usually are watching this. But I appreciate the support, and I am out.